Hi Year 2, today is Thursday the 4th of June and it's time for our next online maths lesson. We're going to do some word problems using litres. So we'll start off by marking yesterday's work and then you'll need some blank paper and a pencil and a partner for the rest of the work. So yesterday we learnt about litres and we were finding on the first page whether a volume was more than 1 litre or less than 1 litre. So for question 1, the volume of water in the pot is more than 1 litre. For question 2, the volume of the water in the container is more than 1 litre as well. And for question 3, the volume of water in the mug is less than 1 litre. The second page, the questions were a little bit trickier. Question 4 asked you to order the following volumes of liquid from most to least. So we started with the greatest volume, which was D, 8 litres, then C, 6 litres, B, 5 litres, A, 4 litres, and E, 1 litre. That one really was tricky, so well done if you got that, and don't worry if you didn't. There was lots of tricky things going on there. Question 5, true or false? The volume of this liquid in this container is 6 litres. The answer was false because the line of the liquid is above the 6 litre line, so it is more than 6 litres. And for question 6, there were lots of different answers you could have had, so I've just given 2 examples. So you might have said, I think E is the odd one out because it's the only one with 4 litres. Or maybe you said, I think B is the odd one out because it does not have liquid, it looks like it's got soil, but you could have had lots of different answers. So today we're focusing on word problems. So we'll start off with this one. Hannah washed her fruit with 3 litres of water and her vegetables with 2 litres. How much water did she use altogether? So, I want you to pause the video and have a chat with your partner here. How do you think we could solve this? What methods could we use? And I also want to know, how confident do you feel about this? Do you feel like this would be really hard and you're not sure if you'll be able to get it right? Or do you think, oh, I absolutely know what I need to do? Have a think about how confident you feel and talk to your partner about it. Now, I asked you to think about how confident you feel because I know that word problems are tricky. They are tricky in every single year because we like to give you challenging work to really stretch you and help you learn and grow. But also, word problems just are a bit tricky. That's their nature. They don't tell you straight away what you need to do. They challenge you to figure it out yourself. So I know lots of you have been finding them tricky, so we're going to try this approach. It's called the rucksack approach. Now you might already know that a rucksack, it's like a book bag or a backpack that you would carry usually on your back. It's usually spelt with 2 K's, but here this rucksack approach doesn't have K's. It's R-U-C-S-A-C because each of those letters stands for something. R is for read the question carefully. U is for make sure you understand the question. C is for choose the correct method. S is for solve the problem. A is for answer the question. And C at the end is for check your answers. So we're going to go through this problem about Hannah and her water using the rucksack approach. So we start off with R for read. Now I've already read the question, but I'm going to read it again and see if you can read along with me. Hannah washed her fruit with 3 litres of water and her vegetables with 2 litres. How much water did she use altogether? The second step is understand. So before I can do anything, I need to check, do I understand? Do I know what the question is asking me? And to help me understand, I'm going to underline some important words. 3 litres, 2 litres, all together. 3 litres and 2 litres are the amounts I have, the volumes of water, and all together is also an important word. That gives me a clue about how I'm going to solve it. I'm also going to underline how much water, because that tells me what kind of answer I'm going to need. Now, the first C is for choose. I need to choose a method for how I'm going to solve this question. I'm going to use the key information that I underlined. 3 litres, 2 litres, and all together. I've started off with a bar model here. So I know that part of the water she used was 3 litres and part of it was 2 litres. But I don't know how much water she used all together. So my question mark goes for the whole bar. I don't know how much water there is all together. So that's going to help me choose a method. If we remember from bar models, when we know the parts, but we don't know the whole bar, that tells us that we need to add. The other clue I could use is this poster. Now, I know we've got these displayed in the classrooms, but of course you probably don't have them at home. So I'm going to include them in the file where you're going to get your independent work. But these are words that match up with the 4 operations: adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. We're only going to be doing adding and subtracting today. But the word altogether also tells us that we are going to be doing addition for this question. Now that I've chosen a method, addition, it's time to solve it. So, 3 litres plus 2 litres. That was quite a simple one. We could solve that in our head or on our fingers. 3 litres plus 2 litres equals 5 litres. Now A for answer. We need to write down our answer. But we also need to check, do we have the right kind of answer? Our question was a how much water question. So 5 litres does make sense. It's the right kind of answer. It's a volume, litres. If we added 3 litres plus 2 litres and got 5 centimetres of water, we'd be in a bit of trouble. Or if we added 3 litres plus 2 litres and got 5 kittens of water, we'd be in trouble. But how much water? We got 5 litres. We got a volume answer, so it's the right kind of answer. And finally, check. We're going to just check to make sure we've got the right answer. So to check, I'm going to use the inverse, the opposite of adding, which is subtraction. So if I said 3 litres plus 2 litres equals 5 litres, I can check by doing some subtraction. Is 5 litres take away 2 litres equal to 3 litres? It is. So I have got the correct answer. Here's a different word problem for us to try. At first, a car had 30 litres of petrol. After being driven for some time, it had 12 litres of petrol left. How much petrol did the car use? Again, we're going to use our rucksack method here. Now, I've already read the question once. For R for read this time, I would like you to pause the video here and read the question out loud to your partner. Now we need to check that we understand. Do we know what the key information here is? Let's have a look. I've got 4 pieces of information I'm going to underline. Pause the video and have a chat with your partner. What do you think is the important information? The first piece of information I'm going to underline is 30 litres, then 12 litres. Those are our 2 amounts that we do know, our 2 volumes that we do know. I'm underlining the word left. That's going to give us a clue about what operation we'll be doing, adding or subtracting. And I'm also underlining how much petrol. That gives us a clue about what kind of answer we want. How much, and petrol is a liquid, so we're going to want a volume answer. We won't want any centimetres or kittens in this answer. Now, the first C for choose. I need to choose a method. Again, I'm starting off with a bar model. So I know at the start there was 30 litres. That was the big amount. Some of it was used up. That's the dark pink bar, the question. And then there was 12 litres left. So I know the big amount was 30. The biggest number is going to be 30. There was 12 left. I need to figure out this question mark part, the dark pink part of the bar. If we know the big amount and one of the small amounts, we are going to be subtracting. We've got the whole is 30, we've got one part is 12. To find the other part, we're going to be subtracting. If we think about our key words as well that help us figure out which operation to use, we can see that we're going to use subtraction. We've got the word left in our question, and if we look at our keyword poster, the word left isn't there, but leave is. And if we think back to Spag, left is the past tense of leave. So now it's time to solve it. So 30 litres, take away some amount, leaves us with 12 litres. We can rearrange that to say 30 litres, take away 12 litres, leaves us with the sum amount. I'm going to use the column method for this. I've drawn my T for tens and my O for ones. I've got 30 on top, that's the biggest number, that's what we started with, so that goes on top. And 12 goes underneath because 12 was taken away. Starting with the ones, 0 ones take away 2 ones. Oh, if I've got 0, I can't take away 2 of anything. I better rename. I'm going to cross out that 3. I won't have 3 tens anymore. I'll have 2 tens, and then I'll bring 10 ones over into the ones. So now I've got 10 ones, take away 2 ones. 10 take away 2 equals 8. Now I can go to my tens. 2 tens, take away 1 10, leaves 1 10. So my answer for 30, take away 12, is 18. Now it's time to write my answer and make sure it's the right type of answer as well. 30 litres, take away 12 litres equals 18 litres. The car used 18 litres of petrol. Yes, that makes sense. As I said, we didn't want centimetres, we didn't want kittens, we wanted a volume, and litres is a volume. And finally, to check. Well, we used subtraction to solve it, so we're going to use the inverse to check, the opposite. The opposite of subtracting is adding, so 12 plus 18 litres should equal 30 litres. I'll use my column method to check. Looking at the ones, I've got 2 ones plus 8 ones, that gives me 10 ones. So I'm going to write down 0 ones, and I'll bring a 10 over into my tens column. I'm going to rename it. So then I've got 1 10 plus 1 10 equals 2 tens, plus the renamed 10 that I brought over. So I've got 3 tens and 0 ones, that is 30. I got the answer correct. It's time for your guided practice now. I'm leaving this rucksack up here to help you remember, you and your partner. And you've got 2 questions to have a go at. Number 1 is about the fish tank of water, and number 2 is about making some lemonade. Number 2 is a bit tricky. There's a little extra step in number 2, so don't worry if you're finding it tricky. I definitely think it's a bit tricky, but I'd like you to have a go with your partner. I think with a partner you should be able to do it. Good luck! Okay, so some quick answers for question 1. There was 45 litres of water to begin with, so we knew the whole, and we knew one part, we knew 18 litres, that was how much water was left, but we didn't know how much water had leaked out. So we used subtraction. 45 take away 18 litres, left 27. There were 27 litres of water left in the tank. For question 2, this was the tricky one. We knew that Holly had 4 litres and 5 litres and 17 litres. So we had to figure out how much all of that was all together. So it was addition. 4 litres plus 5 litres plus 17 litres is 26 litres. She made 26 litres of lemonade. And for your independent work today, I've given you 4 word problems. So there are some addition ones and some subtraction ones. When you underline the key words, that will help you figure out whether you're going to do adding or subtracting. If you're not printing this out, that's absolutely fine. Instead of underlining the important words, I'd like you to write out the important words, because that will help you figure out what method you're going to choose. The challenge is a bit of a nasty one today. You're being asked to make a special potion, but Professor Snape has not given you all the information you need. It's quite a tricky one today. Good luck! Please upload this work today or tomorrow to your portfolio so Miss Gardner and I can have a look.